And that was journalist Kim Iversen talking about who she thinks will win the Democratic nomination. But of course, the only one who really knows is Larry Sparano. Let's go to him to see what he has
Well,
to
that's right, Ken.
settle
Don't
this
forget,
all.
I was right
Settle
about
it
Trump in
all.
2016 when you were saying I was nuts
All
to
right,
have him for president.
who's gonna win? Who's gonna be the Democratic
Well,
nominee?
yeah, Iverson, I think, was pretty much on target with that report, but
Yeah,
I don't see Yang emerging
yeah.
because the freedom dividend, that's going to be painted as socialism. More free stuff. Neither
But
Trump's
people like
base
free stuff.
or a lot of mainstream Democrats are not going to go for that. So I don't see him as a serious factor here. But her other picks were interesting, including Gabbard, because in a way, as she pointed out, Gabbard is talking about these crazy wars in the Mideast. It actually endangers us more than helps with national security because we're creating this bed of radicalism, which is proliferating. It's a continuing problem. So in a way, even though she's not flag waving by Trump as Trump does, she is kind of on the same line as Trump with ending these crazy wars. So yeah, I think she could be a sleeper here. But as we discussed earlier this week, they're not giving her that much airtime
Right.
in these debates because I think what the mainstream media and the liberal networks are focusing on is not to have anybody like Sanders or even Warren as the main candidates.
I mean, do you
I'm
think the
surprised
media
she left
is?
out Warren though, because I think she's
Yeah,
still a factor, because
right,
she's anti-corporate, she's for the working people, she keeps emphasizing that. So I think she would be a factor.
right.
So interesting how this may play out as we get closer. And in terms of Buttigieg, I can't figure out his popularity or whether it's going to last. And I'm really questioning whether these polls are at all accurate. I mean, I
Right,
just don't see him
right,
catching on to the extent that he's being depicted now.
right,
But,
right.
I could be wrong about that. But I find at this point that I don't see how he could sell himself to both crossover Democrats, independents, Trump's base, especially in those swing states that got Trump elected.
Well, do
So
you think that Bernie is really being done in by the press, mainstream media,
yeah,
or
I mean, look
what's
at
your
this
sense of
last
that?
debate, how little airtime. Would they give him one or two questions?
Yeah,
Even though he's still among the leading candidates, he's still drawing big crowds, 20, 30,000 people at his rallies,
right,
still
right,
raising, I think, the most money of any of them, per segment or whatever. But, the funds are still pouring in. Yet,
right,
they're not giving him much airtime in these debates, either the latest one or even the one before that.
right.
Yeah, so I think they are trying to sideline him so he doesn't gain any more strength.
Well, now what about Bloomberg? I mean, I think Bloomberg really got in mainly because of Elizabeth Warren. I mean, he sort of thinks that she might actually get it and is worried about that.
Yeah, so is he just a spoiler then to prevent
Well, I
Warren?
don't know. I think he might make some waves. I think he might really want to do it and could. I mean, I think there might be a path for him.
I'm wondering how, he's going to avoid being depicted as another rich guy, a billionaire who wants to buy the election.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, but
it wasn't an impediment for Trump.
right, and he's a rich guy that's really rich, and Trump is 240 or something in terms of
Yeah.
billionaires. This guy's number 11.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you sell that to the general electorate among Democrats, who feel that they've been uh, shafted by the establishment, by all the attachments to corporations and to billionaires. Now, it worked with Trump because he talks, working class rights. So maybe, could Bloomberg successfully depict himself as Trump 2.0, the sane edition of Trump?
Right,
In
right.
other words, I'm going to be just as hardline as Trump is. I'm going to watch out for your interests, but I'm not a crazy person like Trump. Is that how he's going to emerge? I don't know. I mean, I just don't see him at this point having enough momentum building to get him there. He's entering the primaries late. He's depending on massive ad campaigns, really, to get some traction.
Right.
But how does he avoid the depiction of buying the presidency?
Well, but the thing is, though, I mean, he could argue that he's really put his money in the right progressive places in terms of.
Yeah, he could, but again, is that just public relations, as a lot of them do? Is it sincere? And even if it's sincere, he's still a big corporate guy. I mean, he hasn't been all along during his career. I mean, has he been? You're a New York resident. Has he been that identified with the plight of the working class?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, the only negative about him is that stop and frisk. I mean, and I don't know, I don't know how big that's going to be, but I mean, I think he is going to have some trouble with the black community
Yeah.
because of the stop.
But another factor, as we've discussed a number of times, is how telegenic is he? How charismatic is he for a presidential campaign? Starting with Kennedy, the first one who used TV effectively
Yeah,
because he was such an attractive candidate, and then it progressed through there. Clinton was another one, and Ronald Reagan, an actor who
yeah,
became president.
but I
And
mean,
now Trump, who's
but
very
Bloomberg,
colorful,
yeah, but Bloomberg speaks in complete sentences, whereas
which could be a
Trump.
detriment. Which could
Well,
be
no,
a
I don't think
detriment.
so. I don't know. I think it could be. I think we're longing for that. I mean,
Ken, we both worked in TV. We
yeah,
know the concept of the engaging soundbite. It's
right.
got to be concise, it's got to be colorful, and it could even be a little crazy if
That's
it
true.
attracts the attention and the ears and the
That's true.
eyes of the public.
Yeah,
That's what TV presentations are all about. Can
yeah,
Bloomberg
yeah,
successfully do that, or is he going to kind of come off as a kind of a dried up old billionaire?
yeah. Plus, he's short too.
And he's
That's
short. Look at him on a stage with Trump. Trump is already calling him Little Michael.
I know. I know.
And these visual things
Yeah,
work. They are elements now in this
yeah.
electronic age. So
So
I don't
we'll
know.
see. We'll see. All right. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Ken.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.